This is Robert Kraft, and I'm your host on SNN Network. And joining me today is Scott Silverman. He is the chairman and CEO of CBNT Systems. It's a publicly traded company. The symbol is CBNT. Scott, welcome to SNN Network. Good to meet you.
Thank you, Robert, and thank you for having me. We appreciate it.
We appreciate you. And with that, let's start with a brief overview and history of the company, and then we'll go from there.
Yes, thank you. CBNT Systems is about 6 years old. I've been the CEO now for a little over 2 years. And the company's roots is in a deep intellectual property portfolio. Right now we have 23 patents, patent pendings, and exclusive licenses, and most of the technology was developed in conjunction with Rice University in Houston, Texas, which, as many may know, is the father, if you will, of modern nanotechnology dating back to the 1990s. Our IP portfolio, when you break it down, strengthens brittle materials and lightweights brittle materials. For those unfamiliar with the definition of brittle materials, what that means is we strengthen glass, and we can strengthen cement and concrete. And then smaller markets such as ceramics and things like that, they all qualify as brittle materials. But the first market, they're huge markets, glass and cement. So the first market that we have focused on is the glass market. And from our IP, we have created two commercialized patented products. One is in the window film space. We call it our BRS, or bullet resistant solution. And that is a National Institute of Justice certified product that basically stops a bullet. So if you look at our website and look at the videos that are on there, we take 3 layers of 15 mil window film. We put our CBNT patented solution in between each layer of the film and then between the film and the glass itself. And that product, that solution, is certified to stop a handgun up to a .357 Magnum, 5 rounds at 15 feet. You shoot a bullet, the glass shatters, but none of those 5 bullets will penetrate the entire solution. Obviously, key markets in schools and government buildings and media outlets and things to that effect that need to be protected from terrorist acts and shooters and perpetrators and things to that effect. We also have a 9-layer film product that is certified by the National Institute of Justice to stop an assault rifle. So an AR or an AA, 5 rounds at 50 feet with 9 layers of film on a 3/4 inch piece of glass with the CBNT solution in between each layer of film and the glass itself. One thing that is unique about our product compared to any competitors is, number one, we stop the bullet. Many competitors just don't have the glass shatter. And we also have one-way capability so that a good guy on the inside, such as a security guard, can shoot out, while a perpetrator or a bad guy on the outside cannot shoot in. That's a key differentiator that we have. Our second core product, patented product, is our CBNT NanoShield product, which is a windshield strengthening product. It is the only windshield strengthener on the market. There are many hydrophobics that improve water runoff and make it look prettier and things to that effect, but they don't strengthen the windshield. Our technology is a self-emulsification that goes into microscopic flaws that are inherent in every piece of glass. And if you look at your hand as an example and imagine a little cut on your hand and there were a magic fluid that you could drop into that cut to heal it, that's what CBNT NanoShield does to the microscopic flaws that are inherent in all glass, but especially windshield glass as a result of the bending during the manufacturing process. And we've done multiple tests and had labs and third parties do pilot studies and tests. And on average, CBNT NanoShield reduces the cracking and breaking of a windshield by an average of 40% and a high of 84%, as tested by a major rental car company in the Denver market over a 6-month period. So those are our core products, our core technologies. We've recently expanded our product offerings and formed 2 new divisions in the company, one being the Safety Solutions Group that starts with the bullet-resistant application for buildings, and the other being the Transportation Solutions Group that starts with the CBNT NanoShield windshield protecting product that I just made reference to.
Got it. All right, so I want to take a quick step back just because I want to make sure that our investor audience gets a full understanding. So the company has all these different applications, based on CBOND's core patented technology, right? So that is that so really that's the core, and then everything kind of springs out from there, correct?
Right, that's the foundation. And when I took over, even till recently, those were our core products that we went to market with. We started to commercialize these products. The window film product was about 4 years ago. The NanoShield product was in the last 2 years. And our revenues have increased, 60% last year, but still not to critical mass that we have wanted. And I've always envisioned as the new CEO, even though it's 2 years now, I've envisioned expanding our IP and nano product offerings and portfolio. And we've been planning that for a while. And we've done that recently with new relationships with various entities where we're able to sell their nano products into the same vertical markets that we're in with the BRS and the NanoShield products. And some of them are able to sell our products into their markets.
So I have to ask, just as a quick follow, because I'm sure, I bet some investors are watching this, they're probably thinking the same thing. So what's that one thing, or I'm sure it's many things, that are holding the company back, or not necessarily holding it back, but that inflection point where now you guys can actually get to this mass market for all your various products?
Yeah, so I'll break it down by product for you.
Okay.
When it comes to NanoShield, we have an extremely timely opportunity. And when I say timely, it just happened in the last year.
Okay.
Windshields are getting extremely more expensive as a result of sensor applications and advanced driver assistance systems that are manufactured into windshields. They're called ADAS. And in essence, what that causes is for the windshield to become the brain for the vehicle. It detects weather conditions. It detects road conditions. It can tell you whether it's day or night. You have heads-up displays now that in your cars that show your miles per hour and a compass that you see on a windshield that come out of nowhere. These applications have made a windshield much more expensive. To wit, a Camry windshield, Toyota Camry windshield, 4 years ago cost approximately $400 to replace. Now a Camry windshield to replace averages about $1,600. The reason for that is merely because of these enhanced systems. And because of these enhanced systems, insurers, consumers, automotive manufacturers, and OEM windshield manufacturers have now moved the strengthening of windshields to the forefront because none of them want to bear the costs of what I just mentioned. And as you may know, windshield repair and replacement is the number one insurance claim in America. Over 17 million windshields are replaced on an annual basis. And right now, the insurers are bearing the brunt of that cost. But as they get more expensive, insurers are going to disperse that to the consumers, the insured, to the windshield manufacturers, to the automotive manufacturers. So as we go after that market, the timing is ripe for us to make really strong headwinds. And the first market that we're penetrating right now is the F&I and warranty markets. So that when you buy a new car and you get a warranty and it has a windshield warranty attached to it, that you buy in the F&I office when they try and sell you all that extra stuff after you buy a nice new car. Right now, warranty companies are not putting anything on the windshields. It's just an actuarial game. Now that they can put NanoShield on the windshields, they can, in theory, increase their gross margins by an average of 40%. And that's really what's hitting home. And the key opportunity right now on the NanoShield side of the business. On the BRS side of the business, I think it's very evident that given the world that we live in, that school shootings and terrorist threats are unfortunately not going away anytime soon. And again, we're the only one certified by the National Institute of Justice to stop a bullet in its tracks. I think the answer to your question on a broader scale, Robert, is very simple. We're a technology company. We don't have a large sales and marketing team. We really have one person in each of these divisions, in addition to myself, doing the sales and marketing for the company. We need to partner with key distribution partners, which we've started to do in order to get our products into the market. And that's really where you're going to see the hockey stick turn up, especially on the NanoShield side of the business in the automotive sectors. Now, what we've done recently, which may be your next question, in order to ramp up the sales and ramp up the product offerings we have, is we've looked at our verticals and we've become a nano solutions company rather than just a glass company. And by doing that, we've partnered with a company out of Las Vegas by the name of Makoma Environmental, which sells a product called FN Nano, which will now be CBOND FN Nano, which is a photocatalytic titanium dioxide product that gets sold into the same construction and refurb markets that our BRS product does, our bullet resistant product, hospitals, schools, government buildings, media outlets. And when you paint a building or refurbish a building, especially hospitals and schools, you put this FN Nano right on after the paint. And when it's exposed to UV light, it provides a freshening of the air, if you will, and it takes pathogens and viruses, including COVID-19, right out of the air in that facility. And there's huge demand for this in hospitals right now, obviously. So those are the opportunities that we have in front of us. And I know my answer was long, but the opportunities are long too. So I wanted to make sure I got them all.
Well, no, you know what? I'm happy that you explained basically really the model for the business model for the company. You know, you're not going out there with huge sales force and selling the products direct. You're looking to partner because at the end of the day, you're a technology company. You know, and that's really the core of what CBond is. You know.
Yeah, let me just comment on that because I'm not sure I did in the beginning. When I took over, one of the things we needed to do was value our IP portfolio, and we did that. We hired Duff and Phelps, world-renowned, IP valuation firm, and about 3-4 months ago, they came back with their report finally after doing their diligence in the various markets, and their conclusion was that our IP portfolio was valued at $33.7 million. So when you look at that in connection with our current market cap, you can see the opportunity that exists just on the IP side. And then as we commercialize through these distribution partners and ramp up the revenue, it's going to all come together.
Perfect. And I have to ask also about an announcement that you just made on last week, Thursday, April 2nd, that the company is temporarily converting manufacturing facility to produce hand sanitizer. I know this is completely different than from what we've talked about today, but we're in totally different times. And with everything that's going on with the pandemic, we're all trying to do our part and helping to fight against this and hoping to see it go away faster. So with this announcement, how is the company looking to also join in the fight to really help in any way they can?
Yeah, and you hit the nail on the head right there. We've already joined in the fight against the spread through our new product offerings, such as the FN Nano that I just mentioned, as well as a partner in the EU that provides a nano dry cleaning agent for the inside of planes and automobiles. But when it comes to really getting involved, our facility is empty right now. We're not manufacturing much CBON during this crisis. So Vince Pugliese and I, he's our president, made the decision to shift over our manufacturing facility, which isn't huge, but it's a manufacturing facility, to make some hand sanitizer. And once we knew we were able to procure the necessary product and get the regulatory clearances that we needed to, and we've done both, we pulled the trigger on that. You saw the press release last week, and by the middle of this month, we will have manufactured, assuming we get the ingredients in which we haven't yet, we will have manufactured about 500 gallons of CBON hand dry wash, it's called. And we already have sold most of that. So chances are there'll be around 2, but I don't have confirmation on the ingredients to go into that yet. So this is our way of getting involved, providing healthcare providers and others. Some of the people buying this are hospitals. So it's a way of providing the healthcare providers and the people on the front lines the tools that they need. And, we're happy to be involved.
Well, that's awesome. Well, thank you for that. I mean, that's really amazing. So real quick, I mean, I know we've alluded to your background a little bit already, but let's get a full story before you joined CBON. What was your background?
No, I have to tell you, and I love this question just because I'm very proud of my background, and I never thought I'd be the CEO of another public company again. I'm a lawyer by profession, and over the last 20 years, I've run, this is now my 5th small cap, micro-cap public company, all in the advanced technology space. All 4 of my prior companies were in the RFID, or radio frequency identification space, and specifically implantable IP in the RFID space. So I'm an IP guy. I trust the value of intellectual property, and you would know me best for running companies such as Digital Angel Corporation, which was the inventor of the implantable RF chip that goes in the neck of a dog or a cat. So when they're lost, they're brought to a shelter and they scan it and say, "We found Fluffy." That is a product that has over 150 million in circulation on a monthly basis. Just in the United States, over 10,000 dogs and cats get reunited with the product or with their owners as a result of that product. Very proud of that. We sold that business back in 2005. And right around then, some say we were smart enough or crazy enough to get an FDA clearance to do a similar technology in humans. It was a product called VeriChip. You may remember it, which was an implantable RF chip for humans to identify high-risk patients in their medical records when they present in an emergency situation. And we coupled that with wearable RF in a hospital for matching a baby with mom and preventing abductions from maternity wards, as well as nursing homes to help prevent senior wanderings. And we IPO'd that company in 2007, VeriChip Corporation, CHIP, on the NASDAQ. And a few years later, we sold that to Stanley Works, the lock and tool company, which is now Stanley Works Black & Decker. And if you go into any children's hospital or even any hospital around the country right now, you see Stanley security solutions, plastered all over the place. And they use our wearable technology to identify the location of patients and workers within that hospital. And then after that, came back 3 years later after a non-compete and used the similar technology in a company called Veritech to identify medical devices once they were implanted within the body. And we sold that business to a large breast implant manufacturer called Establishment Labs. It's public information. They trade on the NASDAQ as ESTA, and they're using it to identify their breast implants in the event of adverse event or recall. So to synopsize all that, why I ended up in CBON is when I went to Houston for my first trip and visited Rice University and met the professors that helped develop the technology at Rice University, and the awards or accolades that were literally posted on the walls of the graduate schools at Rice. And I did my diligence on the IP portfolio. I recognized that CBON had something unique. It was an IP situation that is an advanced technology, which I had done before. And a few months later, the founders of the company convinced me to take this role, and here I am 2 years later, still pounding through. So it's been an interesting career. Certainly, we're living in times right now that no one ever predicted, but you need to move with the times, and that's exactly what CBON's doing.
Absolutely. So then my final question for you is, from what you can tell us, what can investors expect from the company for Q2 and beyond?
So we don't put out formal guidance, but internally, I just said this on an investor call a few minutes ago, internally we were forecasting 1.7 million in sales in 2020, which is about a 300% increase from 2019. And the majority of that was obviously coming from the bullet resistance solution and the CBON NanoShield product. With what has gone on in the world in the last month and may go on for another month or two, obviously it's hard to hold that projection, but we believe that we have supplemented our core technology with complementary nano products in a space that is very relevant in today's world and is very relevant to the vertical markets that we're currently selling into. So, like I said before, I think we've positioned the company very well to move forward even during the virus, but especially after the virus.
And where can audience go and find more information about CBON Systems?
CBONsystems.com. You got great videos on there about all of our applications. The bullet resistant solution with an assault rifle is really cool to watch online. So you can go there. You can go to MZ Group, who is our investor relations firm that represents us.
Scott, thank you so much for joining me today. I really appreciate it. And good luck. You're doing some great work there in helping the cause.
Robert, I appreciate your time and good luck during this tough times.
Thank you.
All right, bye-bye.